What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's Chris with arch-usa.com. Every year I write a report on what I sold during the year on various channels. So I didn't include Amazon in this report. I think I did 62,000 on Amazon. I probably should download the 1099 so I can show you guys how much was there. I didn't do much on eBay at all. That may change this year. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with that. But eBay I used as an outlet, like I'm playing basketball. I used as an outlet pass for shoes that got returned that were damaged from Amazon, primarily. So when people screwed up something, when they sent it back from Amazon, I put it on eBay so I could sell it there. But the reason I started doing this, and let me see. I don't want to kind of stumble over what I'm saying. The reason I started doing this is because I used to be a huge follower of Matt Powell of the NPD group. And I used to look at his reports and information from there. And then after a while, I started asking questions to Matt Powell, and he eventually blocked me. Now, I ask really probing questions because when I write from the standpoint of a researcher. That's basically what my job is. I'll write white papers for different companies, and I like to get as much data as possible. Now, the NPD group is a big, powerful organization that gets this data from all over the place. They sell that information. They don't readily just give it out. So me just coming in and asking for something, it could be considered rude. But what I realized is when I started going back through my data on my own sales, because I sell so many shoes, my data as a micro set of data almost mirrored what the NPD group was telling people were the top 10 shoes each year. So I started going back through data and going to find their list. And I was like, wait a minute, something's missing here because I'm seeing movement in different places that obviously they're not reporting to the brands. So I wrote this article in 2017, why you should question NPD's data about Adidas overtaking Jordan brand. Now, this year is 2022, and they're reporting the same thing again. And there's a problem once again with that type of data. When brands put their sales together throughout their quarters, brands don't sell data companies their data. In other words, Nike grew 25% during the fourth quarter in fiscal 22, right? Fourth quarter fiscal 22. They grew 24% in direct sales. That means direct to the consumer. For those direct sales to be grown so extensively, they had to take market share from their wholesale accounts. Now, if you went into stores last year, you saw in many instances walls, and I actually took pictures of different walls inside of different stores, and I explained that they didn't have any Jordan brand product in those stores. But if Nike was still growing, those sales were coming directly from Nike. In other words, if I'm a person that collects data from these different, retail outlets or Amazon and all of these places, I'm going to see a decrease in Nike sales across the board because the product isn't in the stores. The product is being sold directly. So if you don't have the data directly from Nike to inform your discussion is skewed. Your point of sales data is skewed. Now, someone can argue against me on that, but I'm going to give you a statistic from when I wrote this article in 2017. And this is what's going to, if it doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. So 2014, Nike, 768 Nike stores. 2015, DTC, direct to consumer, 6.6 billion, 832 stores, up from 768. 2016, DTC went up again, 7.9 billion, 919 stores. 2017, DTC revenue was 9.1 billion, 985 stores. I need to go and find the data for how many stores there are now in 2021, 22. But Nike sales are rising and their margins are rising. And their relationships with different stores is diminishing. That means you're going to see an increase in what? Other brands selling, because those stores have to fill the holes on their walls with product. Now, you clicked on this because you wanted to get into the top sold sneakers. But I wanted to explain to you why I crunch my own data. Now, I do it in some instances because I'll get an email from someone who's asking, hey, I'd love to know what resale is doing and how is resale moving. And I explain to them every time, my resale parallels retail. So let's get into it. The top sold sneakers in 2021 via me, arch-usas.com's data. As analysts who utilize point of sales data list their top 10 sneakers for 2021, I like to take the time to use my own micro set of data based on sneaker sales I've made using StockX. I've long stated that resale can reflect brand heat at retail. In this list, my list below, over here to the side, right, holds true to that statement. When compared to the list of top sold shoes based on other analyst information, my data holds 5 of the 10 shoes listed on those lists. That means I'm not dabbling in a place that's bot oriented. If you use bots, more than likely you're getting 1,000 dunks, right? I get a lot of dunks too, but I'm not using bots. So my data is not skewed towards the premium end. My data is skewed towards what's readily accessible in stores that any person can go in the store and typically pick up anywhere. And then I get a lot of that on consignment. So, and that's further down in the article. So let's keep reading. A macro set of data is, of course, more comprehensive. And it is basically typically fed from major sites and chains. But most point of sales data is not sold directly from the brands. And that's what I was saying earlier. Nike doesn't give away their information, not the detailed information of their sales. And that kind of places point of sales data at a small disadvantage. The information is still very important and you can use it. It's very informative. My data is faster. It speaks towards which brand is dominating beyond retail. And that's equally as informative, right? Now, one of the benefits of selling on StockX is the export of data from sales over the last 2 years. They used to give you your sales history all the way back to when you joined the site. It's not like that anymore. So if you hadn't downloaded your sales history from when you first started selling and you started selling over 2 years ago, your sales history isn't there. You only get 2 years now. And that's, the space. As many people as you have using the site, you can't just hold all of that information. So let's get to my data and my numbers. In 2021, I sold 4,956 pair of shoes on StockX. My gross sales were $586,666 before StockX fees. After StockX fees, my total was $519,723.40. That's an average price of $104.87. Since I initially started on StockX in 2017, the average sale has decreased 38%. In 2017, I didn't sell that much. There's a video. I should put it up here. I'll find it and put it up here so you can see it. From 2017, it shows you how much I made. And the average sale, I think, was about $170 a pair at that time. There were fewer people in resale. Now that more people are involved, now that Nike is moving directly to the consumer, now that these wholesale accounts are losing inventory and changing policies, things have changed. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. Let's go to the tiers of the shoes that I sold in this graph. So the number of sneakers sold by tier in 2021, and here's the breakdown, 0 to 99, which you can't see an arrow here, so I'll just put something in a graphic that highlights it and gives you a little flashing light, maybe, I don't know, but it's the blue bar over here to the side. 0 to 99, I sold 2,255 pair of shoes. 100 to $150, I sold 1,759 shoes. From 151 to 200, I sold 535 shoes. From $201 to $250, I sold 600 shoes. From $250 to $300, I sold 235 shoes. $300 and up, I only sold 168 shoes. Once again, my data is skewed towards the same location as traditional or mainstream retail. Now, what do these numbers mean for sneaker retail? The resale market and retail market are both oversaturated. Even as Nike removes accounts and they build their consumer direct acceleration in order to increase the average price, more accounts will have to be taken. The reality is the majority of sales happen under 100, so my data is on par with the greater marketplace. I think the removal of accounts will happen with larger chains, especially since most mom and pops are gone. Now, it'll happen with larger chains because there's basically a considerable overlap of Nike accounts when you look at the location of stores throughout the United States. Nike's rollout of Nike Rise and Unite concept stores will encroach on wholesale accounts, and by default, it will force big retail chains to start contracting. This means that you may see fewer locations of Finish Line stores. You may see fewer locations of Hibbett stores. You may see fewer locations of Foot Locker stores. You already see a contraction with Foot Action gone. But this is what I think. Foot Locker is the one that's going to take the biggest hit since they've already shut down Foot Action. Hibbett Sports won't take the biggest hit. They won't take a hit at all, probably because most of their stores are in small towns and in strip mall areas. The businesses that have those companies in strip malls are safer than mall stores where there's a redundancy of Nike accounts. Think about that. Think about what I just said there. Now, what does this mean for sneaker resale? The only people engaging in sneaker resale, people like me, have either considerable access to inventory or they utilize bots for high-end sneaker releases. In other words, you got guys that are botting and then moving those shoes into whatever sales funnel that they're going to move them into. I don't have any bots. I have considerable access to inventory, but a lot of my access has moved. So let's keep reading. My obvious access has more to do with discounts. I'm able to utilize an abundance of consignment sales, right? But I'm also able to get inventory from people who are consigning and wanting to get rid of stuff. And I build a lot around the fact that there are people always looking to dump inventory. Always. And if you start thinking in that term and you start looking for those people who are dumping inventory, you can win. The casual reseller is flipping what they can win. But beyond those acquisitions that they get from winning, reseller inventory is considerably down. And I'm going to give you my numbers and explain this. So, via my own purchasing. Like I said, I don't use bots, and my ability to use discounts at retail have diminished due to policy changes. My bread and butter in resale used to be walking in a Foot Locker, scanning the wall, grabbing a pair of kicks, and using my discount to capture the 15% profit from that discount combined with whatever promotional sale the company was having. All right. So I would walk in, it's a $79.99 shoe. I get 15% off. That gives me whatever room is in there. Sometimes that $79.99 shoe would be selling for $89.99 or $99.99. You take the 15% away, I get about $10 to $15. I could pull 10 shoes per day from a store and generate $200 a day. Now, I don't know about you, $200 a day, 30 days a month, $6,000. It's not bad. Wait a minute, 200 times 30? Yeah, $6,000. It's not bad money. Somebody else is probably like, that's terrible. You have to remember the range, that average of the big majority of sales is here. There are also those shoes that I get that are higher quality that have a bigger profit margin. But that's going too long. And this video is going to be long because we still have 2 more charts to kind of get into. And if you want to see the charts, you can go down to the description, click through and read the article, and you don't even have to listen to all of this. But I would assume you want to listen to this. All right. Foot Locker and other retail outlets have changed their policies. Shoppers can only buy 1 pair of any shoe. It doesn't matter if the shoe is on deep discount or whatever. In other words, those days of me being able to walk into the store and buy 10 pair of shoes per day, it's over. Can't do that anymore. And you're going to see that reflected in the numbers I'm going to read to you in a second. But here's a really good example of that. The last 2 years, there was an Adidas Crazy Boost You Wear Harden basketball shoe. It was on sale for $19.99, and it was on sale for 2 years. The store that had the shoes had over 100 pair. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I could have picked up 3 pair of those shoes per day because there was still a limit, but I could pick up 3 pair a day. They didn't stop you from buying every day. They changed the policies. Those shoes sat for over 2 years on sale at $19.99. And I still couldn't buy more than 1 pair a month. All right. So last year at Foot Locker and its affiliates, I bought $16,356 worth of sneakers. This number is high, and probably higher than what you thought I spent, because the policy changes really hit hard at the start of last summer. So in the second half of the year, I only bought $2,431 in sneakers. That means the first half of the year, I spent $14,000. The second half of the year, I spent $2,000. And that $2,000 basically came from raffle wins inside of the Foot Locker app. And that's it. So if you did every raffle every week and you won your shoe, and a lot of the shoes I kept and gave to my son, a lot of them, obviously, I sold, right? And those are the ones that give you a little bit of a bump up in your average for what you're selling. At City Gear, I bought $8,245 in sneakers. At Finish Line and Jimmy Jazz, I bought $440 and $107 respectively. At Nike, I spent $16,198 at Nike affiliated stores. The rest of the purchases I made were on consignment. All right, so those are the numbers that I used to purchase. Now, I didn't give you the consignment number, but those are the numbers I used to purchase. So what was the most expensive shoe I sold in 2021? Let's get to that chart. And here, the most expensive shoe I sold was a $1,249 pair of Travis Scott's. $917 pair of Dunk Off-White. $631 pair of the Medium Curry Dunks. The Dunk Low Syracuse was $600. $580 for another pair of the Medium Curry. Then $560 and $560 for the SP Kentucky and a pair of Air Fear of God 1 oatmeals. Jordan 1 Retro High Dark Mocha was $524. Another Syracuse Dunk, $506. And $505 was the Dunk Low SP Kentucky. All right, so those are the most expensive sneakers I sold in 2021. I can give you a further breakdown if you want. I'll tell you how to get that information at the end of this video. My Nike purchases, right, are on par with what I spent at traditional retail. So up here, when I told you that I spent $16,000 at Nike affiliated stores, that's almost even to what I spent at regular stores. That's very important. It's very important. So think about that. The clear statement here is Nike is rivaling their accounts in 2021. They didn't rival them so much in the past. And I'm going to give you numbers from 2018 to explain that. So in 2018, I spent $73,677 at Foot Locker, $40,428 at City Gear, $13,123 at Finish Line, $9,396 at Jimmy Jazz. The Nike stores got $79,600 of my money that year. Now that's on par with Foot Locker. This is 2018, remember. That's on par with Foot Locker. But the numbers at the other stores were considerably more. Now, if you scroll back up when you're reading this article and you look at the comparison between 2018 and 2022, that allows for a completely different discussion. And this is extremely important. As Nike improves the consumer direct offense / consumer direct acceleration, the opportunity for resale from their doors goes down. Hopefully you understand that. And the ability to resell from traditional accounts goes down. A lot of people who are complaining about resellers are complaining basically about the coveted shoes being taken by bots. As you'll see in the resale information below, I don't focus on the hype shoes as much. As a matter of fact, the majority of my sales happen from $0 to $150. The sales I have at the premium end are basically consignment or raffle wins of shoes I didn't keep for the family. I'm sure you're ready to look at the top shoes sold. So I'll stop right there. And as always, you can check the top sold list of bigger analysts and you'll find my list is comparable. Now, if you have a request for a deeper dive into this data, I have a consulting fee scale available on the shop. I'll put the link down here in the description, or you can simply go to this website and you can hit it up and just write me and say you want a deeper dive or you want all of the data, and we'll figure out the terms. But here's what you came for. And I almost feel like Tony Baker when I say that. Look at who you came to see. The top 10 sneakers sold in 2021 by Arch-USA are as follows. The Air Force One, 1,003 pair. Nike Blazer, 547 pair. Air Jordan 1, 493 pair. Air Max 270, 379 pair. The Nike Dunk, 302 pair. Nike Vapor Max, 54 pair. Air Max 90, 185 pair. The Huarache, 145 pair. Let's say 185 pair for the Air Max 90, 145 pair for the Huarache, and 100 pair for the Nike Cortez, the G Nikes, whatever you want to call them, and 94 pair of LeBrons. Those are the top 10 sneakers that sold on Arch. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, hit the like button. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I can answer the questions on my data. No problem. But right now, if you're questioning and saying to yourself, how can I sell that many shoes? Make yourself available, man, for people who are offering lots of shoes. Some of you guys that aren't signed up for Bulk, bulq.com, sign up for Bulk. But make yourself available for people who are offering shoes, because there's a ton of people out there jumping into business, don't know what they're doing, and they take losses. And it's not that I'm taking advantage of anybody. I'm simply saying, if you have something and you need to get rid of it and you need cash, bring it to the office. I'll take it off your hands. Let's keep it moving. Now, am I going to continue that this year? I don't know. Anyway, all of the links are in the description for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you watched this long, thank you. If you watch this long and you wear a really small size, I think I have a pair of shoes over there that I think I'll give away. How will I do that? I don't know. You know what? No giveaways on this one. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Hope everything's going fantastic for you in the new year. Hopefully you didn't experience Quitter's Day and stop whatever it is that you planned on being great at this year. Keep working. If I can help you with something, leave a question and I will. Peace.